Already Tracy challenge the Financier stealth, 3 and 4 stores, foster detection, and unintimidating. We can't intimidate, so we're gonna have to hack instead, which is perfectly fine. But aside from that, there's reinforced stores, which is a slight inconvenience, and then there's foster detection, which is, well, rather terrifying on Financier since detection meters aren't exactly great over here, so if you could just keep walking over there, not stop, which would be... Where did the guard go? You know what, let's not question it, let's just assume that it's the camera that Cyber presumably lured, which I would still consider quite insulting, but for now if you could just go over there, not do anything because I'll just knock you out because it's unintimidating, I'll just knock them out, they're gonna be face palming over there, and we're gonna grab the disguise relatively soon, which... I mean, ideally we don't get caught by anyone, which is kind of what happens all the time, but once we're done with that, we'll just... Hello there. Nice to meet you. Look, if you're gonna walk away then. And then we can just loop this camera over here. We can loop the other camera. And then afterwards, hopefully... Well, you haven't actually gone anyways, so that's a relatively simple solution. But in that case, we could knock both of you out, which... Hi there, you. And now we're done with that, we could just grab the bag over here, and then afterwards deliver everyone a few disguises, which... seems relatively convenient, so we're just gonna do exactly that by just doing that. Grabbing the other bag, and then working on doing something a bit more interesting than just moving around a bunch of bodies, which frankly isn't really that boring either, at least for the first few times. But we'll leave that over there, we'll go over here, and then afterwards we'll just start searching for the remaining power boxes, which... There are 2 here, and there are potentially a lot of problematic cameras over there, but there's one, and it's not even that problematic. Right then, in that case, we'll just go over here, we'll get a rewire, and then afterwards we're just gonna go back to spawn, or in this case, we'll just go upstairs and go in through there, which... Afterwards, it's just a matter of trying to find a computer in a decently short amount of time, since it is unintimidating, and doing things rather quickly would be generally optimal, so we'll just do exactly that, go through here, go in here, look for things, seemingly have absolutely nothing, find a computer, start a hack over here, and afterwards it's just a matter of waiting, which we could in theory spend that time just finding Ryan, and this might be bad. Finding a bunch of guards and then afterwards taking them out, and then starting the clock, or finding a bunch of photographs, taking them down at their inconvenient locations so that hopefully we won't get it over here, which it's not a good idea either if we take our guards in the process, but... Hi there, keep moving. But we should be done with all of that over there. But there is all of this, which I would consider at least slightly terrifying, but we'll just go over here. We'll finish hacking this over here, and presumably one of us will go after the safe, and the rest of us will just quickly clear the map, in the hopes of things going relatively well, because that's certainly something that we can do. But there's a bit of extra waiting here, so if you could just... No, look, we're not doing this. Keep looking at me. Exactly. Right then. We'll go over here instead, we'll get this photograph removed, and then we'll get that removed, and then we should just wait for the computer over there. I mean, there are 3 guards over there, which is quite comical, but... Presumably we'll be getting some intel relatively soon. That is exactly the intel that we want. And then we have to awkwardly advance up on all of these people and knock all of them out, which... might be a bit sketchy, but... Hi there. Let's just bag everyone up and then get out of here, which... That door is locked, let's shoot it open, hold on. Let's let Cyber shoot it open. And then let's get out of here because things are gonna go relatively badly relatively soon. But regardless, that's the daily challenge done in just under 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Cheers everyone, have a great time!